Hello everyone, Dark Kirby 14 here. Welcome to more Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap. Okay, so we're gonna do this will be a Week 17 NFL collab.
Hello everyone, my name's Green Drago 313, and also, why are we doing the Minish Cap instead of FIFA?
We're gonna do Minish Cap first.
Oh, okay. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna separate our Week 17 picks in two different videos. We'll do the first 8 picks in the first one, and our second 8 picks in the second one. Alright, so we get started on the final regular season edition.
Yep, who's first up?
Will be an easy one. The Jets versus Patriots. All I really care about, it's highly unlikely the Jets can pull off an upset like they did in the 2011 divisional game. Like, that game feels like such a long time ago.
You aren't kidding.
Why did the Jets even draft Christian Hackenberg if they're not going to use him?
I don't know. They have some blind belief in Petty. I don't see it. I didn't think he was much then.
Like almost as bad as Jeff Fisher. Jared Goff was a rookie last season. There was no need to rush him right away. They wanted to start Case Keenum, but Case Keenum's doing a great job now. Nick Foles is doing a good job now, and like Jeff Fisher was just a quarterback killer. He ruined Vince Young's career. He did bad with Nick Foles, Case Keenum, and Jared Goff. The only quarterback he did do well with was Steve McNair. I don't remember if Jeff Fisher he wasn't the head coach with the Oilers, but maybe he was an assistant head coach with the Oilers with Warren when they had Warren Moon. He's more of a defensive guy, I think, because he was a defensive coach with the '85 Bears.
Yeah. So I think obviously I'm picking the Patriots. That's a slam dunk. And my thing is, I think they should start Hackenberg just to see what they have and formulate their draft strategy that way.
Yeah, see what he's capable of. That way, if like Foles is going to get fired at the beginning of the season, preseason, and offseason, the Jets released all their veteran players like Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker, Nick Mangold, and Darrelle Revis. And I thought with that talent, they're pretty much the only good player they have is Matt Forte. And they were thought to be what the Browns were, and the Browns were thought to be what the Jets were.
Alright, so what's the next game?
This next game, Cowboys and Eagles. The Eagles have clinched up the #1 seed. Well, as you said before, like, it may be a good idea for the starters to play a half. That way, they're not completely 2 weeks of rested. That could be not having the momentum. But I'm still making the Cowboys in this game, and I think they're going to be mad about not going to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that.
It's going to be like last year, the 2-week finale in
Damn.
17 in
Yeah.
Philadelphia when the Cowboys.
Yeah, but meaningless game, I'll probably pick Dallas.
Yeah, then switch to Tony Romo, then Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I'm picking Dallas. It really is an insignificant game.
You should be worried. Well, sign Nick Foles. That's a good thing because you needed him in case Carson Wentz goes down, unless you did. But if Nick Foles goes down, then Nate Sudfeld would have to be the starter. Like, to my knowledge, there's only been one third-string quarterback to win a playoff game. That was T.J. Yates.
Yeah, and that was against a pathetic Bengals team. Well, against the Bengals, who are pathetic.
I'll go back to talking about T.J. Yates later when it's the Texans, when we're talking about the Texans. But Nate Sudfeld, I don't even know who this guy is. But
I saw him play, and he played for the Hoosiers. I know that much.
Like Indiana Hoosiers?
Yeah, so what's the next game?
Okay, the next game, but who are you picking? I'm picking the Cowboys.
Dallas as well.
Because the Eagles might be playing with that Nick Sudfeld in the second half, because I don't think Jerry Jones will allow the Cowboys just to bench their starters just to tank for a better draft pick. I don't think they do that in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Next pick?
This next game could go either way, because I just saw a post that the Steelers had what's his name again? Mike Tomlin might not play his starters against the Browns, and the Browns couldn't defeat the Steelers last year in Week 17 with the Steelers backups. They almost did it.
Late game or early game?
And they can't. Anyone can go 1-15, but it takes a special elite group to go winless. It's 1970 Buccaneers and 2008 Lions. So please believe it. Don't ruin his perfect season.
So is this a late game? Is this a late game or an early game?
This is an early game.
They're playing the starters. They're playing the starters. They still have something to play for.
Okay, because
Yeah, they still got something to play for.
Coleman doesn't know if he's because the Steelers do have something to play for there, but they need the Jets to pull off an upset.
Yeah, they're probably gonna play their starters and then. I think that'll be an as-they-go situation. I'm gonna pick the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm picking them too, but the Browns, I don't understand. Like, Hugh Jackson's 1-30. He had that fluke win against the Chargers on Christmas Eve last year. Their last game was the only game they could have won. It was on Christmas Eve too, but I don't understand when during the Jaguars Gus Bradley, Dave Caldwell experience, they fired Gus Bradley after Houston came back under Tom Savage to beat the Jaguars. But they kept David Caldwell. For the Browns, they fired Sashi Brown, but they're keeping Hugh Jackson. If this was any other team, Hugh Jackson would have been canned right away.
I think it's gonna depend on how how Dorsey views it. He might want his own coach.
I think Dorsey, he wants to hire his own coach because I think a general manager needs to get two things right: his coach, and his quarterback. Just like what the Seahawks general manager did, like with Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson, but like John Lynch did with Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo. But
true.
Even Mike Hennon and Johnny Manziel didn't do this bad.
Alright, so what's the next game? You pick the Steelers, I assume?
I'm picking the Steelers, okay. This next game is Bears and Vikings. The Bears are 4-0 against the AFC North and 1-10 against the NFC. So the Bears could have a winless division record. I'm still picking the Vikings to win because the Vikings, the only team that could get a first round bye over the Vikings is the Panthers. The Bears would need to pull off this upset. They would need the Buccaneers to beat the Saints. They would need the 49ers to beat the Rams, and the Panthers would need to beat the Falcons because of that victory over the Vikings.
True. Same here. They got something to play for.
No matter who gets anyone in the playoffs in the divisional round except the Vikings. Even if the Panthers do get the 2 seed, the Vikings will beat the 3 seed. That would be, if they win, that would move them down, put them to the Panthers because the 3 seed always goes to the 2 seed, and the 6 seed always goes to the 1 seed.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Vikings to win this game because I think after they rebounded after starting 5-0. But
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Vikings too.
Do you think your Eagles could beat whoever? If it's between New Orleans, Carolina, or Atlanta or Seattle, can your Eagles beat either of them?
Yeah, I'm definitely worried about the Saints. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
that'd be one game.
Nick Foles, Drew Brees round 2 in the playoffs, but Saints' only road playoff game came against the Eagles at Philadelphia in 2013. But if the Vikings somehow hosted, if the Eagles lost in the divisional round, the Vikings round, then whoever would play Minnesota in the NFC Championship, I doubt if the team beats Minnesota in Minnesota, I doubt they would even have to leave Minneapolis because they'd just be back there in 2 weeks.
Very true. What's the next game?
I'm still picking the Vikings to win this game because the Bears, they gotta fire John Fox and they gotta fire Ryan Pace too. Like, Ryan Pace gave Mike Glennon all that money, and he didn't tell John Fox that they were gonna move up one space to get Mitchell Trubisky. Like, I still think out of all the Bears players, Jordan Howard, he's a stud. He's in my opinion, a top 3, maybe even a top 2 running back, second only to Le'Veon Bell, because Ezekiel Elliott had that great offensive line. Look at the Bears' offensive line compared to
Yeah, Vikings. What's the next game?
Okay, Redskins and Giants. This is one of the games where it has no playoff impact on either. The Giants have already locked up the if the Giants win and the Colts lose, I wonder if they'd still have if they could get would still have the number 2 overall pick over the Colts, because maybe so, because I haven't seen anything about. I think it's because the Giants would Well, anyway, I'm picking the Redskins to beat this game, win this game. This could be
true. Redskins as well.
Stay as a Giant, but this could be Eli Manning's last game as a Giant and Kirk Cousins' last game as a Redskin.
Yeah, both teams could look completely different next year.
I don't think the Redskins, they had that one good year in 2015. That was because all the other NFC East teams were bad.
I think Cousins is good. It's just that the rest of the Redskins are just not that good.
Yeah, they got Terrell Pryor. I just don't know why they let go of Pierre Garçon and Deshaun Jackson. But what do the Redskins need for improvements?
I think they just one thing I think they definitely need is to stay healthy. They need.
Because I remember that Chiefs Redskins game on Monday Night Football. A lot of Redskins players were just dropping like flies.
Yeah, that's what they need. I'm gonna put the Redskins. What's the next game?
Okay, Packers and Lions. Like, even if the Packers win this game, Detroit would still be the second place in the NFC North because they have a better division record, mostly because they beat Minnesota once. The Packers got swept by Minnesota. If the Lions win this game, it'll mark the first time since the 1991 season when the Lions were 12-4 and went to the NFC Championship, and won their only playoff win since winning the 1957 NFL Championship. That Brett Favre was a Falcon at that time.
True. I'm gonna pick the Lions. Hundley is terrible.
Brett Hundley and an unhealthy Packers team.
Lions, obviously. What's the next game?
Detroit hasn't had since Barry Sanders is a good running game because Matthew Stafford wouldn't have to worry about throwing the ball as much. Just look what happened to Drew Brees this year. Over the past couple of years, Drew Brees was just trying too hard. He didn't have that good running game. That's why he was throwing.
His running backs. Yeah.
Stafford needs.
Yeah, I agree with that. What's the next one?
Lions. I'm picking the Lions to win this game. Oh.
Same here.
Okay, Okay, the next game, Texans at Colts. I'm picking the Colts because when I was talking about TJ Yates earlier, I don't know if it's going to be TJ Yates or that fourth string guy for the Texans that's starting, but if this was TJ Yates versus the Bengals, then I would trust TJ Yates more than Marvin Lewis, but I trust Jacoby Brissett, the Texans quarterback. If Deshaun Watson was still healthy, he would just be a beast. The Texans would win. There could be 3 AFC South teams in the AFC West, but right now the AFC South is not the worst division anymore. Even though, the Texans with Deshaun Watson. Before I get into that, what do you think is going to happen to Andrew Luck? He's not as injury prone as RG3 was, but consider drafting another backup quarterback because Scott Tolson, he's a bad quarterback, and Jacoby Brissett, he hasn't been impressive to me because the Colts only wins 2 of their 3 wins this year were against winless teams, against the 49ers and Browns, and they barely beat a Texan team with Tom Savage. So I would look into getting a backup quarterback in case Andrew Luck's out again, but would it hurt, be worth 2 first-round draft picks? If the Colts were to trade Andrew Luck and their first round pick for the Browns' 2 first-round.
I'll take the Colts. I'm gonna take the Colts. Hey, you want to sign out? We're almost done.
Wait. We gotta do. There's one more game we have to do. But okay, I want to talk about this next one. 49ers and Rams. Rams could be benching their stars. That's what I heard. And Jimmy Garoppolo is hot. Like he is. They have that. This is gonna be a great rivalry years to come. Jared versus Jimmy.